Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuinei.
All right. Welcome to another exciting episode of Navigating Dental Insurance. I'm your host, Jordan Comstock, and today we got Ben, my co-host, with me.
Hey, Jordan.
How you doing, Ben?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Just enjoying working from home today.
Yeah, same here.
It's
happy
always
holidays.
Good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, happy holidays. Today we got an exciting guest. His name is Bruce Thompson. I've known Bruce. I met him earlier this year at a BNI networking event, and we kind of branched off from that networking and started our own thing together of meeting people in the dental industry. And without Bruce, I wouldn't have met Ben, and this probably wouldn't have all happened. So it's all Bruce's. It's all Bruce's fault.
Yeah.
But
yeah, thanks
just
for that,
a
Bruce.
quick. Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Just a quick introduction about Bruce. So Bruce has been in the health and medical field for over 10 years. He has worked in the finance, collections, and marketing for the dental and medical industry. Bruce is very customer service oriented and enjoys helping dental practices with in-house patient financing. And Bruce, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get in the industry, and what got you started with Flex Checks?
Well, I got into the industry because I always kept finding that there were three main problems with every dental practice or medical practice out there. They all wanted to get more patients, they all wanted to retain patients, and they were all looking for positive cash flow. And that's how I got into trying to find an alternative source that would allow for all three of those things to happen within the dental practice market. And somehow this industry, after meeting you, has just led me down that entire road into the dental market arena, which I didn't seem to choose, but it has chosen me, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Especially since I'm sitting in Las Vegas right now at 63 degrees instead of in Utah with you guys at 22.
Yeah, you're the lucky one.
I can be a smoker without smoking. You know, you see the steam coming out of the breath, and I can pretend. You know what?
You can pretend.
Are you vaping now?
It's natural, Bruce. It's all natural. So is marijuana. You know what I mean.
There's plenty of those signs down here.
Hey, Bruce. What do they call So you're basically revolutionizing financing, patient financing. And we're here trying to revolutionize how insurance is administered, or even revolutionize the insurance system in general on the dental side. What do they call people like us? You know, you think about people that have engaged in revolutions. What do they call them? Is there a name for a revolutionist? I don't know.
Well, it depends which way you want to call it. Is it independence or is it anarchy? It's
Rebel.
Yeah.
rebel, or is it Shea in Cuba, since that's in the news nowadays?
Yeah.
It's something that, there has to be some breakthrough.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Apple phones. I mean, it changed the way marketing is done. It's the changed way people do business, and we don't hit a start key to stop.
Yeah,
so you have to break the mold somewhere.
Something's got to change, and in industries where something's got to change, a lot of people are afraid to initiate that change, although they feel like change should be made. We see that in politics all the time, but politics, you get more of the same. And when you're talking about revolutionizing patient financing, I think what most dentists think when they think about revolutionizing patient financing is there an alternative to care credit? So I guess that's one question I have is, what's the difference between what your program is and what now is considered the more popular form of patient financing, which is care credit? What's the difference?
Well, you have care credit, which is a credit-based score system, which is probably 99% of all credit applications for financing in the market. I am a no credit check solution. I'm actually a financial patented system that has a trademark and a patent from the U.S. Patent Office on how we do the financing based off of a checking account, and has nothing to do with the credit score of the patient. And so that's what makes me completely different than Care Credit. The other difference is you could probably associate me as being the check cashing store on the corner or different financing, but I'm not playing 300% loans. I'm actually running maximum interest rates of 15% on customers, which is half the rate of a credit card. And it's all based off of their good standings. They're not bouncing checks all over town, and they have an income source. So that's how everything is based. So I'm a completely different opposite of Care Credit. Care Credit's looking for a 650 credit score or greater. If you want 0% financing with them, they're looking for a 720 score or greater, which is only 18% of the population. So I approve 60% of all care credits declines. That's the difference between what I do and what Care Credit does. I'm looking for people that have income, they're good in the community, but for some reason or another, they've fallen into disrepair, some emergency expense, or they just don't have the credit. And in Forbes magazine a couple years ago, they even mentioned that 60% of the population couldn't get $500 in 24 hours if they needed to. And that's where really sparked what this needs to be, because people have emergency causes and emergency practices, or within the practice, need something done. Tooth pulled, root canal.
Yeah, you name it.
Just
Gum
you
disease.
name it. Gum disease. You get in there, you got gingivitis, you got to do something. And I don't have the money, but I have a job and I have good standing income and I'm a good person. But for some reason, I went through a divorce. I went through a challenge. I had to spend the last money that I had out of this, but I can make a down payment and I can make monthly payments and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
The practice has now gained a new loyal customer, and guess what? He's going to tell a slew more people that this practice took care of me.
Sure. When you talk about like the normal credit checks that are done through Care Credit and your form of, I guess you can call it somewhat of a credit check, where they have a bank account, how does that all work? Like how are you able to qualify a patient based upon them giving you their routing number and checking number? Is there a system there that does somewhat of a check behind activity, whether they've had bounce checks or if they have money in the bank? How do you qualify a patient?
Well, through our patented process, it goes in. I'm checking their checking account the same way that Care Credit is checking their Social Security number. I'm looking at to see, I can see every deposit they've made, and I can look and see every withdrawal they've made, and I can see every bounce check that they've made. And really based off of that, so here's a small analogy of how our loan system works. If the customer has money going into the account and he's not withdrawing more than what he's putting in, and say he keeps an average daily balance of about $70 in his bank account, we will loan $1,000 off of that. So $70 is equated to $1,000 loan.
Okay.
In our side of the thing. They're going to put down a small down payment and the rest is going to be financed, and we can see that $70 is staying in that account every month. It's worth us to loan $1,000 against it.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's pretty neat. I always thought that the only form of credit check is for somebody to have your Social Security number. And that's quite intimidating, because
it is, yeah.
Like I live in a new neighborhood, and we're all about keeping up with the Joneses. Somebody buys a new car, then we all buy a new car. We're all maxing out our credit. We're living the American dream by getting in as much debt as we can. That's just the way things are. But I bet if I needed a root canal tomorrow and I needed to get financing, I probably wouldn't qualify through Care Credit. But I'm a person that would say I have great discretionary income. My credit may not be the magical 800 numbers, but it's up there. But I was told by a dentist the other day that if I try to apply for Care Credit today, I probably wouldn't even qualify anyway. And it's kind of a slap in the face to people that work hard, people that have money. Maybe it's something that you want to finance rather than paying cash for it. So FlexCheck is a solution for people like me. Is that right, Bruce?
That is correct. So yeah, it's people with positive cash flow. It's people that for no reason, instead of having, you have this number as your thing, nope, you don't qualify. Let's look deeper. How much money is coming in and how much money is going out? If there's some left over, there's got to be a loan based off of that. I mean, it's simple math. So as long as as I look at it, I would say 60, maybe 80% of the population could probably tell you where their checkbook is, what their balance is within $100 of it any day of the week.
If you're like me, you're looking at it like 5 times a day. Why isn't it growing?
I do.
Why isn't it growing today?
Why isn't it
growing? Maybe tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, I ask myself, how can I make this grow? Yeah. How can I make this grow?
Life of an entrepreneur.
The life of an entrepreneur, exactly. Bruce, I got a question for you. So how can FlexChecks help improve case acceptance when money is an issue for the patients?
Well, I think it gives the patient an alternative way to take care of that balance. It gives them a different solution or a different way, which is not so threatening of, okay, let me have your credit card. Well, I don't have a credit card. How many of those patients are going to walk out that door and not come back if there's not another solution for them? Is that what I'm getting of what your question is, or is it something else that I'm missing?
No, that's great.
I think that's it. When you talk about the national statistics, Bruce, only 27, this is according to, I believe, the American Dental Association, their annual statistics, and the last one that they produced was a year ago. Their new report will be released in January, but every year, consistently for the last number of years, only 27% of patients accept treatment plans. That means that more than 2/3 of all the treatment plans that doctors are giving to patients simply walk out the door. To me, that screams opportunity, but it also tells you that within the dental practice, there are some concerns from the patient. It may be that the doctor or one of the team members has bad breath, or it may be that you offended the patient in some other way, or it could be a financing issue. So I guess what Jordan was asking there is 27% of the offices out there, of the patients out there, accept treatment plans. A large portion of that, the 2/3, the 3/4 that don't accept treatment plans, my guess is that a lot of that has to do with money. So how does your program, how could a FlexCheck program help a doctor improve their case acceptance from 27%, let's say, to 37% in a matter of months?
Okay, so out of those 27%, if they decided to take financing and they decided to do that plan through Care Credit, depending on demographics, only 25 to 50% of those patients are going to approve through Care Credit. All those that decline, 50 to 75% of them are going to walk out that door and never come back. FlexChecks approves about 60% of those declined off of the credit score side of it. So we're going to approve 2/3 of the population that was declined. So really off of that 27%, you're probably looking 31% acceptance of treatment plans. Or really, in a sense, you're going to close 6 out of 10 of those patients that got declined in the first place. And how much is an average treatment plan to a practice worth in the first year? Is it $800? Is it $1,500? Is it $2,200 or more? So if you could close 60% more of those that are declined, what does that mean to your practice every week, every day, every month?
Yeah. I think implementing what you're talking about, and then Lorraine Guth, who we interviewed yesterday. So for those of you that are listening, you might want to listen to Lorraine Guth's and then listen to this immediately after, because capturing more patients is all about how you present things to patients. And if you don't have the right financing alternatives, patients just simply won't accept treatment. It's an intimidating factor, and our goal is to find out what those concerns are from those patients. Now, when I was working for a large group practice in Arizona, we had a personal banker that did all of our treatment planning. A
That's
guy
nice.
that he was from a large national bank, and this group hired him because they thought, who better than a personal banker to talk to these patients and figure out one of the biggest concerns, which is financing. And that's because we ran into the problem of having the majority of our patients not get approved by Care Credit. And then we ding their credit for that credit inquiry, and they're upset at us. We had to find another alternative for financing, and working, somebody that has a personal relationship with the bank as an employee was able to figure that out. So we actually had a financial arrangement with this one bank, and you don't really see this in dental. Like, a lot of these banks won't touch dental without a very high interest rate and a huge barrier for patients to get financing. But it was something very similar to yours, Bruce, to where patients would go through some sort of credit check in terms of reviewing their checking account and so forth. Anyway, long story short, we went from closing, I think we were at 30% of our cases up to 60% of the cases in a matter of 2 months. And that's because we had financing options available, and we had a very slick salesman in the form of a personal banker, or a former personal banker, do all our treatment planning for us. And he was able to massage those issues with the patients and get patients to move forward with treatment. So I can imagine what you do, Bruce, is a lot similar to that. Am I correct?
That is correct. And the whole thing is this is all web-based. So there's no other equipment that's sitting on the desk of reception or the financial person within the practice. And it's a 5-line, 6-line app for the patient to get approved. So it's really just streamlines the whole process. The whole thing is we can actually set it up where the patient can apply for financing before they enter the practice. They get an email that they're approved. The practice is sent how much they're approved for. So you can build what your basis of your practice before the customer comes in. So if you know they're only approved for $2,800, you're not going to be selling them a $6,000 plan. You're going to know where you're going to market the patient to, and then so you do $2,800 this year, you know they're going to approve for another $2,800 next year. Guess what? You're able to do the full plan for that patient. It'll take you 2 years, but now you've not lost that account.
Yeah, and doesn't your the Flex Checks program doesn't integrate into the practice's website as well?
Yeah, it integrates into the website. It's all PCI compliant. It's all HIPAA compliant. It's all level 1 security. So there's no breach and no problems or challenges for the practice or risk on their side.
Awesome. So let's talk about fees. What are the fees that are associated with this type of financing, Bruce?
Well, the fees are completely different. Let's start with Care Credit. Care Credit is going to charge you 6 to 10% of every loan that you do, and that's going to be charged to the practice. All the fees that are associated with the loans or to the patient are going to be charged to the patient. So the practice is not going to incur any fees per se from Flex Checks. The only fee that the practice will incur from us is a monthly statement of $15 a month. And then we, based off of your activity of using the services, your fees can range up to $25 a month. But if you're writing more than $2,000 worth of business with us, we'll waive your activity fee. So at the max, you're going to pay us $40 a month to use our services. In Care Credit, you're going to pay them 10% of everything that you write. So if you're writing $2,000 worth with Care Credit, you're paying them $200 every month. If you're writing $10,000, you're paying them $1,000. The more you write with us, the less my fee is going to be.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to say.
Because we want the business of loaning the money. If we're making 9 to 15% on it, we're happy as can be, because what are you getting in your savings account?
Yeah, and I also like to equate this to the insurance write-off. Like, our mission is to help doctors find insurance alternatives, like what Jordan does. Getting patients on your own in-house dental benefit program, you're controlling your write-off. You're controlling the amount of money that you choose to get paid for the procedure. Care Credit to a lot of doctors is it is a tool, but it's a very expensive tool that threatens their write-off. That's an additional 10% that they have to give away on top of their 30% or 40% write-off that they've already agreed to as a result of being a participating provider with these insurance carriers. So and this is the exact reason why we wanted you on our program, is because we firmly believe that your form of financing is a great alternative to traditional financing that helps the doctors capture additional patient revenue, increasing their patient case acceptance, and then at the same time not requiring doctors to take an additional 10% write-off that you would normally incur with all the traditional lenders out there, including Care Credit. So this is pretty good, Bruce. We really appreciate you being on the show today. Any final thoughts that you want to share with our listeners about your program and how you might be able to help them?
Well, if any of them want to reach out to me on my website or give me a call, I'm always open for free consultations of how I might be able to build or modify their practice to get them more positive cash flow coming into their practice. So I'm always interested in seeing how I can help or refer to others like yourself, Ben, or Jordan, if they're looking for anything else, if any other questions come up, concerning membership plans. So my whole thing is the more I can give out there, the more I'm going to get in the end.
Awesome. So, Bruce, if any of our audience members want to contact you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Okay. My email address is info@flex, which is FLEX-CHEX.com, or my direct line is area code 702-530-6070.
Awesome. So yeah, if any of you guys have questions for Bruce, feel free to contact him. He's a great resource, very knowledgeable when it comes to financing. Bruce, thanks so much for coming on our show, and we look forward to maybe bringing you back on in the future.
Sounds great. And next time you get down to Vegas, come visit me.
Yeah, sure absolutely, will. Man.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
And that's it, folks. Another exciting episode in the can. We extend our gratitude and thank you to you, our listeners. Without you, our podcast wouldn't be successful. It most certainly wouldn't be where it is today. We just recently started this podcast and we've already received thousands of downloads on most of our episodes. A small way that you can show your appreciation for what we do is to tell somebody about our podcast. You can also share any of our episodes on your Facebook page or other social media, or even like us on iTunes. Again, thank you for your support, and until next time, may you find success in navigating the most challenging insurance problems within your dental practice. Cheers.